Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I definitely think in the off season I took a different approach to how I kind of viewed other off seasons. I mean, last year was a pretty tough year for many reasons. With COVID and everything, and just how kind of poor we did in the season. I kind of took a step back in the off season and just kind of decided, some changes I wanted to make this year. And there was some pretty big changes I changed. My diet, just a little things kind of outside football that I felt has helped me a lot at the beginning of this year. And I also just, I changed a little bit of my mentality. And I think I've come into this season, just trying to be, as Phil said, a bigger, just kind of a bigger guy in the locker room, whether that's, trying to help the younger players and just kind of being more of a presence for everybody. And I think in doing that, it's helped me be more focused and kind of approach every day with a really good mentality and just trying to be a big part of this team. So I think it's just been a few mental changes that I've kind of tried to approach this year with, and so far I think it's been doing well for me, and so just got to keep going.
Thank you, Michelle. Next, we'll go to Kobe Price, then to Franco Paniso, followed by Mike DiPasquale. Kobe, you're off mute.
Thanks, Jackie. Hey, Jay. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Solid. Appreciate you asking. Speaking with Phil, asked him about pressing. During preseason, you guys mentioned wanting to be a team that pressed a lot, and he mentioned that because of injuries and absences, whatever, you guys haven't focused on as much. I guess from you've played 10 this past week, and then you shifted to the midfield. What is he asking from you specifically, but also overall the team from a pressing standpoint? I guess where are the triggers on the field where it's like, all right, now we had to mark up a little stronger now?
Yeah, that's another good question. I mean, we definitely view ourselves as a team that wants to be tough to beat, and by doing that, we do want to be a team that presses well. For me personally, like I started in the 10. So my role this weekend was to try and put as much pressure on Sosa because he's a big player for Atlanta. So obviously with Blaze going down, I kind of had to switch my role and just kind of adjust. And I think, injuries has, every team deals with them, but we've had some injuries to some key guys as well, and that's nobody feels kind of sorry for ourselves. It's next man up, and we kind of want to just try and do the best job that we can, whoever's on the field. So with Atlanta this past weekend, it was a little bit different because of how unique they are and what they do. I mean, they play kind of man-to-man defense, which you don't see a lot of teams do. So for us, our game plan was to try and, play fast and kind of get the ball in behind. As if teams are pressing you, it's very tough to try and play possession in the midfield. So I think in the first half we did that. I think in the second half we did it better. But I think in the first half they pressed us really well, and they were tough to break down, even though Gonzo had a few chances, and we knew the first half was going to be tough just based off of how playing man to man is. When guys are fresh in man-to-man defense, it's always going to be kind of a scrappy game. So I think in the second half, especially when we got a few guys that came in, like Fetty did very good at kind of keeping us in possession as well. When he came on, he's been great when he's come on. So it's been very important that the subs that have been making a huge impact. So but yeah, I mean, just to further answer your question. We're definitely a team that on a good day we're going to be one of the toughest teams in the league to play against, right? So and I think that is because we want to press and we want to be a high tempo team, especially when teams come here because of the hot climate. So yeah.
Thank you, Kobe. Franco, you're off mute.
Thank you, Jackie. Hey, Jay.
How you doing?
Just wanted to ask you, for you guys, how tough is it, or how is this week from a preparation standpoint? You guys played Sunday, Monday for the starters, I assume was a regeneration day. and today I'm sure you get some light training for the game tomorrow. So not a whole lot of a time to prepare. So how have you guys kind of prepared for Montreal over these last couple of days, knowing that they've had maybe one more day to prepare for you guys, and have been getting used to the heat as well, playing locally? Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those weeks that you kind of have to just mentally be strong for. Obviously, it's 2 days after a really tough game at 1:00 in the afternoon in Florida, so your body's going to feel it, right? So I think it's just being a professional is just as much about being a professional on the field as off. So it's eating the right things after sleeping a lot, and we have a lot of guys that have experience in the league, and even the young boys, I've noticed have, they're very mature, they're very focused, and they are picking up on the things that kind of the veterans have been kind of putting out there. So I think everybody knows what it takes, in these tough kind of 3-game stretches in 1 week. So we'll be ready for the game. There's definitely guys that are feeling some things, but we have a good locker room, and there's nobody making excuses for a condensed schedule, the heat and stuff. We're a motivated team, and every game we play, we want to go in and win. And I think so far we've been unlucky. We have 5 points. I think this Atlanta game we definitely deserved more. So we know how big of a stretch this is as well. We win tomorrow, we go away at Cincinnati, which is definitely a winnable game for us. If we can get 6 points by the end of this week, that puts us in a really good spot in the league. So everybody's focused on that, and we're going to be ready for tomorrow.
Thank you, Franco. Mike DePasquale, you're off mute.
Hey, Jay, thank you, and thank you, Jackie.
No worries.
You mentioned that you deserve more after Atlanta, and Phil started by, when he spoke at this news conference, just by his words, that he was emotional. Did you hear what he had to say afterwards? And his words, "I wear my heart on my sleeve." Is that something you have seen so far this season on him? He's no different?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Phil has been, he's been a revelation for us guys that were kind of here last year. It's been a breath of fresh air, and he's a guy that definitely wears his heart on his sleeve. And if there's something that he doesn't like, he's not afraid to let you know about that. He's very upfront with you, which is, as a player, I mean, for me personally, I like that. I don't like there to be kind of any secrets or anything that goes on. So he's been so good with everybody, and he treats everybody the same. Whether you're Gonzalo Higuain or you're Edison Ascona, he'll talk to you the exact same way. He has the same expectations for everyone. Nobody's bigger than the team, which that's very good for a group of players that last year maybe just didn't have the kind of chemistry and things that we needed. So the team's definitely closer this year, and it's been really good, and it's helped us out a lot. At the beginning when maybe we haven't gotten the results that we've deserved, he's positive with us, and I've nothing but good things to say, and it's been really good.
Thank you, Mike. We'll take 2 more questions. We'll go to David Lang and take 1 more question from Michelle Kaufman.
Hey, how you doing? Today, the team announced that Dry Pink Stadium will be going to full capacity starting May 29th, so there'll be more fans back there. What does that mean to you guys as players, just waiting for the opportunity to have that first true home game, that's finally a thing that's going to happen for you?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I saw it on my way to train today, and it put a smile on my face, to be honest with you. It's been so tough with COVID. As a player, especially. I mean, I've played in this league for seven years, and apart from last year, it's been full stadiums, and that's what you look forward to as a player, right? Those are the games that you get up to. And when there's not fans in the stadium, it doesn't feel like a professional game. It doesn't, the motivation's there to win for your team, but if you're down in the 75th and you need a goal, it's the fans that kind of motivate you. And I think even on this last game with Atlanta, the fans got louder and louder as the game went on. And I think that's definitely played a part. And Lewis making that great run and scoring that goal. It's fans are what we need as players to kind of get us out of the tough moments in the game. And without fans, it's the game's just boring, to be honest with you. So the fact that we're going to be able to have all of La Familia in the stadium at the same time is going to be incredible. None of us have seen it yet. We've seen glimpses, obviously, and even that, I think we're right up there with the best fans in the league, and that's at half capacity, if that. So I think once we can have everybody in the stadium, it's going to be a fortress, and I don't think anybody's going to like to come here and play. So I'm very excited.
Thank you, David. And last question, Michelle.
All right, it's kind of keeping on the stadium theme.
Yep.
You're playing Montreal tomorrow. Normally, they would have been practicing up north. From your days in Canada.
Yep.
They've been able to be here now for quite a long time. They're sharing the facility with you guys. How does that take away your home field advantage a little bit? How different is it playing a team that is training right on the next field over and playing home games in your home? What is that like? It's a very unusual situation.
Yeah, it is. We're having a joke about it in the locker room, whether this was a home or away game. So, no, I mean, it's definitely a home game for us. We're going to approach it like that. They've been here, training, but they haven't been here for as long as us. And, this is our home. So we're going to approach it like it's a home game. Maybe they'll be a little bit more acclimatized than any other year when they would be back home. But it's still our home. The majority of us have been playing here for a lot longer than they have. So the most important thing is the 3 points. We're not really worried about what they're kind of doing. We're focused on us, and we're gonna go have a good training session today, figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow, and we're gonna approach that game for the big 3 points.
Thank you, Michelle. And thank you, Jay, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you all. That concludes today's press conference, and we will see you all tomorrow after the game.